This is Scene and Nerd. I'm your host, Sarah Belmont, and with me, as always, is our Mr. Producer, Will Polk. How are you doing tonight, Will?
Doing very well, Sarah. How are you doing this evening? Looking forward to talking some Paradise, penultimate episode with you, and One Piece, and we got some news tonight as well.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and start us off with the news?
It's been a while since we've done a nerd news segment, but I definitely wanted to, start off. I was in the process of putting together my script for my thoughts on Starfleet Academy season 1, and then it wasn't able to record this weekend. And then I'm kind of glad I didn't, because we learned this week that the series is being canceled. That's right. We got word yesterday that Starfleet Academy is going to be ending after its second season, which the second season just wrapped production only a few weeks ago. And I have to, basically the line from Paramount Plus was basically that, as far as the show's ratings, it never really cracked the top 10 as far as the Nielsen streaming charts and everything. But that is a very fair point. But at the same time, there was this show. I've been thinking about it a little bit after we've gotten word about the cancellation, and all throughout the season. I've shared with you, Sarah, off mic, and even I think here on the pod, just some of the toxicity of Star Trek fan base, and people calling it too woke and too this, and the misogyny and the homophobia and all the other bullshit that was out there, and bad faith grifter reactors, and so the show really, from the get, had a very uphill path to climb. But there is a very passionate fan base out there for this show, and I was really thinking it reminded me a lot of some of this discourse and discussion with another big fandom with Star in it, and that's Star Wars, and the conversations around the Acolyte. It was a very very parallel type of dynamic going on with that with Starfleet Academy, where you've had all these gatekeepers, and all these people saying that's not my Star Trek and all that kind of stuff. And the goat himself, William Shatner, got out here and last night and posted on his social media accounts how he'd heard about the cancellation, and the goat himself, William Shatner, is basically said, look, when I had one of the first interracial kisses on TV, and if in my time, people will probably call our show too woke or DEI or that kind of stuff. So, there's a lot of bad faith BS out there. So, so two things can be true. Yes, it is true that the show didn't have the strongest of ratings, and I can see it from an economic standpoint, how with a big budget show like this, you got to have return on investment.
Yeah.
But it's also true that there was a lot of toxicity out there in the fan base, and this is why we can't have nice things. So I'm still planning on giving my thoughts on the overall with the first season, and we will see the second season. I guess it'll come in 2027. Of course, we still have the last season and a half of Strange New Worlds. That'll be, I think, Strange New Worlds season 4 will be dropping, I want to say, later this year. And then we'll have an abbreviated 5th season for Strange New Worlds, and then after that, who knows what's going to happen with the Star Trek franchise, because because we do have a new ownership group at Paramount. They have talked about reinvigorating the feature film franchise, but we shall see.
What they need to do is hire Tyler Sheridan to write a Star Trek, because he owns Paramount Plus at this point. Because I did watch the Madison, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell. It's good. I wouldn't say it's great. It's a bit slow. And I did a lot of skipping because I was like, oh, we're just going to spend the next 2 minutes looking out at the scenery. Okay. And there's only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So what they did was they dropped 3 last week and they dropped 3 this week.
Okay.
It's different than other Sheridan shows, but it also, the cinematography, the openness, all of that is there. So I just, and from what I understand, we're going to get a season 2 because the ratings have been good.
Okay.
And which, go figure.
Yeah. Yeah.
With him and his history with shows on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just marking territory. And like,
For sure.
I'm waiting for him to do the Alaska edition of what it looks like. So yeah. I watched that, but the other show I've been watching, I'm not finished with it. Nobody tell me spoilers. That I actually think you would like. And I think you would be proud that I even watched this because this is a very you show. Mm-hmm. It's the new Nicole Kidman show out on Amazon. It's Scarpetta.
Huh.
And she is the state medical examiner for Virginia. And and you know that in this type of genre with the crime and detective work and all, I have issues with flashbacks. Mm-hmm. They use them very smartly in this show.
Okay.
Very smartly. The first episode is literally called A Bridge Between Time Part 1. And the last episode is A Bridge Between Time Part 2.
Okay.
So I will admit the first episode is hard to get through because pacing, setup, and also this is not a show you can eat while watching. You're looking at a lot of dead bodies and they're dead, but they also don't look nice. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. You're looking at a lot of, there are some horrific images that occur and everything, but they go in some interesting places that I did not expect. The actors, of course, are good. With Nicole Kidman and even the past versions, like I said, this isn't really a spoiler, but they do a lot of flashbacks. So you see Kay and her family and coworkers in present day and then also in past. So the younger versions are also holding their own, even though I do admit the actress who plays Nicole Kidman's counterpart as the younger, the first episode I was like, yeah, that's not Nicole Kidman. I was like, I think you could, but as it's gone on, it's gotten better. Cool. I've been like, okay, I'm starting to see it now more and more. So
yeah.
I think you should check it out, and I think others have. I know it's like number 1 right now on Amazon. So, and speaking about Amazon, I am watching Jury Duty Presents.
Yeah, I was wondering. I heard about Jury Duty season 2, and I was just like, I was wondering if you were watching it. So you just answered my question.
yeah. They've so far released 3 episodes. I've only watched 2 of the 3. I just haven't made my way back there. Okay. But yeah, it's definitely different. It's not Jury Duty, but it's not Jury Duty. They know how to pick these guys to follow and be the unknowingly straight guy.
Okay.
In these shows very well. And I think that's why it's successful. Now, then again, I've only seen 2 of the 3 that have been released. I haven't seen the full show. So we will see because I do remember getting a bit tired of some of the shticks that occurred in season 1. And I think from a technical perspective, season 1 was a bigger achievement because they were in a very confined space for that period of time, or spaces. While with the company retreat, they are, I think it feels more like The Office.
Got it.
It feels so much more like The Office than Jury Duty season 1 did.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So
cool. Yeah. Well, I know we got to get to our main topics, but two quick Marvel updates before we do that. One, which I was honestly surprised.
I called it.
Yeah, you did. Wonder Man season 2 is coming, and it was greenlit this week, and very excited about that because for folks who listen to us, you will know I was not that high on this show at first when I first heard about it, but ended up loving it. I
did
really
not want to cover it, y'all. I did
not. You did. You did. And I'm so glad you did. I would have missed out on something very special as far as Marvel television. So yeah, it got renewed. And then also today, John Barenthal shared on his Instagram the Marvel special presentation that we've heard about, thanks to, for some time since Daredevil Born Again season 1 premiered. And we've been wondering when this was going to drop, but we got word that the Punisher One Last Kill will be premiering on Disney Plus on May the 12th. So yeah, so that's the latest roundup of news items from Marvel.
And we both watched Brand New Day trailer. We both saw Bernthaling it up. And I would just like to say, I'm so glad when the MCU listens to me.
They should always listen to you.
Because it's so good. Like the even just knowing that before Tom Holland did his screen test, he read lines with Bernthal because they were working on a movie together.
Yeah.
And to see, like, it's just, yes, this is what we want. This is what we want. We want the larger than life spectacle with like well-grounded human themes, but we also want this inner working behind the scenes of like fate.
Yeah.
So it's just so cool.
It is.
And knock on wood, everyone remains presumably a good person.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.